I just really appreciate everybody being here. What an amazing opportunity, for our program. I remember standing here a year ago last year and, just kind of watching and observing. Now to have these 13 guys, and I just got done talking about them to the NFL scouts. These guys are cornerstones for our program. These guys are catalysts for one of the best record turnover in college football last season, going from 4-8 to 9-4, asterisk 10-3. Just really proud of these guys, right? And I think they're going to bring a lot of tremendous value to organizations because of the right people, the right character, and the right work ethic. So, big day for them. I told them all relax. They've done these things a million different times, and your tape speaks for themselves. So, with that, I'll kind of open it up to any questions.
What kind of advice do you give them? They've got to come out and do the individual drills and things like that. Do you help prep them for any of that?
Now these guys have their own teams. I try to remind them that this game isn't played in shorts and tights, right? Your film speaks for itself, and these guys have tremendous film. But I just speak to the work ethic, what I see behind the scenes that the tape doesn't show. So just go be yourself, and I think you're going to see some amazing things. And I think Nick Anderson is a great example of that, Tony. What a tremendous football player. What a positive impact this man will make on any organization out there because of how he does things. So I'm excited and fired up for these guys today.
What do you think about someone like Damon, who gets the chance to come out here? Like you said, it's not done in shorts and the shirts and so on, but Damon gets a chance to show his speed and things like that.
Yeah, I'll reiterate. I think Damon is one of the most explosive players in the country, and the speed metrics say that, and the tape metrics show that. And I think we had a year together of showing that he can be a complete running back. And I think the developmental stages, just like for a lot of these guys, is still there, right? So they're taking a lot on potential and what it can be, and excited about him. Once again showing the type of athlete that he is, and this is the right environment to do that.
How much of the job that you do here for this kind of thing is built on the relationships you have with the scouts, with other personnel at the NFL level?
Yeah, part of having the player acquisition team, our general manager, Rob Schlager, I believe is the best in the country. Because not only do we have these 13 guys, okay, we have about 10 or so guys that are Washington State guys that are all over the place that I think are going to be high level picks. So I think they start looking at our guys that are prepared. Okay, there's a monster walking around here. His name is Esapole, here to support Lili. Tremendous example. Didn't play high school football. We found him in junior college, right? Didn't play till his first year out. Now he's the starting right tackle for the Chiefs, right? So there's a lot of guys just like this in our personnel department. Katie Basin, Kyle Kirkendall. I just think we're starting to mirror, the things that the NFL guys are going through, and I just think, you're starting to get that in a quicker order. So this is their day, so I remind those scouts of that, and hopefully we've done a good job of preparing these guys for this.
You had a year of success, a turnaround year, although this is the first time we've heard you use the asterisk part of the record.
Yeah, I did that for these guys. I won't do that again, yes.
But does it say if there is a level of success with some of these guys making NFL rosters, does that then add to what you're recruiting going forward?
I like to say this, Tony, to your overall point. This is a player's game. I got way too much credit. I said that throughout the season, so don't overlook that. These guys are tremendous football players, right? And they have an intellectual intensity about them. And I think, when they go and do special things, and I'm not going to kind of reel off all the guys that we have in our past, but you're going to see a couple of these guys. To be a great team, in a great organization, you have to have some of those late draft picks or priority free agents that end up making a big impact on an organization, and I think a lot of these guys can do it.
But that certainly helps your recruiting pitch.
Oh, no, that from a recruiting standpoint, it's huge, and we use it quite often to talk about development, and I think we do an elite job of developing football players, right? Emotionally, physically, systematically. I think it fits a lot of what the NFL does, and we're proud of that.
Coach, a player like Karan, what is your message to the scouts about him and what he brings to the table?
Well, silent assassin, doesn't say much, does his job, super smart, amazing journey, humble in his approach, and made big time plays. Okay, and if he had that level of production and he did it year over year, he'd be first team all conference, right? So I'm just excited about that journey that he's been on. Big day. Everyone wants to see him run, and he can create a lot of value for himself in this environment. So I vouch for him as a player and a person, and you don't make that type of impact like he did on our team without having, those little traits that make you successful. So another guy just really, really excited about.
For you came in here, and some of these guys, you just had a year with them.
Yeah.
But is this a proud moment for you to see them come out here and perform scouts?
Heck yeah. This game is about other people realizing their goals, dreams, and aspirations. And today represents that. But getting a chance to talk to these guys just because they've been back here this week, once again, perspective. Coach, I miss it, right? Man, I loved being here. Tell these guys, I meant what I said, this thing goes fast, right? So there's a lot of wisdom that's created even in these last 3 months since they've been away from the program. And these guys will be lifetime Demon Deacons. And I want to create an environment and a program that they want to come back, they feel welcomed, and they want to, give back to the program and the success that they've created for themselves. So hopefully we've done that even in our short period of time together.
Coach, you were the head coach for all but one of these players here today, and you recruited, I think, 8 of them to Wake Forest. What does it mean to you personally to have that kind of effect on what the next level of football is going to look like over the next couple of years?
And we'll see what their journey looks like, but I think it shows, once again, I really believe in our process. We're really diligent in what we do, like measuring femur lengths and knee circumferences and hand sizes and how we use all that information to develop these guys. And Coach Ben Keone, I'll say it again, is one of the best strength and speed coaches in the country. And I think this is a really proud moment for him. He just got his hip surgery done, so he's like waddling around. He shouldn't be on his feet this much. But it's a really proud moment for our guys. And some of these guys have been training with Coach Beckett, our associate director of strength and speed, during this process. And there's no better in the country in what he does too. So just excited about this journey for our program and what it means for these guys to take the next step in their career.
Coach, have you had many interactions with the alumni of Wake Forest football that were alumni from before your time here, like from the Clawson era and possibly before, that are in the NFL now or recently were?
Yeah, and I think we're still working through that, getting all those guys back into our program. Mark Holcomb, director of alumni relations, has been a big add, and we're continuing to grow those roles. I know this when we do our alumni Zooms and we update these guys. They're just really excited about the new energy in the program and feel them welcomed when they're back here. That's really important, okay? Because what I love showing, they didn't have any of this fancy stuff we have, right? They were in that little 1,000 square foot building over there, right? So that's real toughness. So just excited about investing and, kind of what's the next generation of Wake Forest football and what are they going to accomplish.
Anything else for Coach?
Really appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Thank you, guys.
How you feel out there? It was a heck of a workout.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for this opportunity, the strength, and the people around me, all the blessings He bestowed upon me and my family. Other than that, I'll say it was a great workout. Great to be out here. Great to be back. That's it.
What's the feedback been like from coaches and scouts so far?
It's been great. Other than that, I'm not gonna get into deep with it. So I'm just gonna let it be whatever is gonna come my way. I'm just proud for this opportunity. So.
You feel good about your workout today? You
Yes,
feel
sir.
good about your
Feel
numbers?
great. Yes, sir.
When you think about your time here at Wake, what are some of the things that pop out for you, especially as you pursue this next opportunity?
It's been great. The fans, they show love every Saturday. Whatever we do, they always show up. The people over here, the support staff, the trainers, the recruiting people, nutritionists, they've been supporting us every step of the way. So.
What's the conversations been like with Jake as you prepared for this pro day? What did Coach Dicker kind of talk to you about?
Nothing much, my end of the season meeting with Coach Dicker, kind of just talk about my journey. We got to Washington State together, and now we're here together. So that's about it.
Having this stage, How important was it for you to come out here and put on a good show?
Sorry, what was that?
Having this stage in front of these scouts, how important was it for you to come out here and put on a good
Well, it means everything, you know. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. So,
What's next?
I guess the NFL. That's the next step. So,
Team workouts, individual workouts, yourself.
sorry, what was that?
You going to you working
Individual
out with a
workouts,
trainer?
team
What are you doing?
workouts. What do you-
I have no idea. You know, it's just taking one day at a time, one step at a time. So,
What was that like, kind of knowing everybody in here was watching?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's always a good day to get on the field and, you know, to showcase what I've been working on the last couple of months. You know, it's been a great process. You know, I would say up to this moment. You know, just attacking everything. The last 2 months have been, you know, training to, you know, put my best foot forward for, you know, what's next to come, and you know, it's been a great journey. You know, I'm happy just to be here and be back.
Mom, what's the feedback been like so far from teams and people you've been working out with?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great stuff. You know, a lot of teams just want to, you know, make sure that, you know, I'm able to compete and I'm durable, that I can be somebody that's available week to week. And so, you know, I had a goal after the NFL Combine to, you know, be 190, above 190. I weighed in there at 195. And so, you know, that's kind of how I just been attacking stuff, you know, setting goals, you know, off of the feedback I've been receiving from NFL scouts and, you know, trying to crush them along the way.
Why was it a goal of yours to be above 190? And I'm sure the next question is, were you able to maintain the speed that I know that you've been able to put out?
Yeah, so absolutely. You know, being able to be, you know, over, you know, 190, you know, it shows a lot of teams in the league that from a durable standpoint, you can sustain hits and you can still be able to get up. And so I wanted to show scouts that, you know, I can get to that weight, even heavier than that weight, and come out here and still run fast and, you know, do drills fast and do that stuff and, you know, show my elite explosiveness and all those things at the backfield. And so, you know, overall, you know, just being able to, you know, meet the expectations that some of these clubs are giving me is my goal, is my everyday challenge.
Iman, what is your pitch to teams? How do you sell yourself to those scouts and teams that are interviewing you?
Yeah, so I really just want them to know that, you know, beyond football, that, you know, I care a lot and I'm passionate about the game. You know, sometimes I think I play football so passionate and physical that, you know, some teams might not necessarily understand why I might play with a chip on my shoulder. But really just, you know, letting these teams know that I'm coming to work every day. I'm trying to put my best foot forward every day to help the club win. And so really just show them that other than just being a physical and outstanding football player, but just a great man, somebody that wants to get around his future teammates and, you know, get around their families and, you know, just learn from, you know, some of the greats, you know. And so just having the opportunity, man, this is unreal. I come from the country, the middle of nowhere. And so, you know, being able to go to the NFL Combine, do ProDay, the first person ever in my community to even go to the Combine or, you know, to even do a ProDay. You know, and so just being able to, you know, put my foot forward and doing that is definitely all things I'm super, you know, happy for and that I want teams to know about.
I know you try to put weight on, but what else are you working on as you get prepared for the draft?
Yeah, so really just like my body, just stretching a lot. You know, I sustained some tough injuries this past season. You know, was able to still suit up every week to come out and, you know, put my best foot forward for the Deeks, but really just the other side of it, the nutrition. You know what I mean? Also just the stretching piece of it. Really just getting the proper recovery, so getting the right amount of rest. You know, all good things to help the body recover, to help you perform at your best. And so really those are the things I've really been trying to attack. You know, every day when I step into my facility, I was training at House of Athletes in Tampa with Yo Murphy, and so he's got me right. And then, you know, these last 2 weeks, I was in Fort Lauderdale with a guy named Adam, training with Jonathan Taylor, Brees Hall, you know what I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's in there, you know what I mean? And so also just getting around some of those guys for the last 2 weeks and seeing how they operate, how they move, and just have, you know, conversations with them has been also something very unique along this process that's helped me grow a lot as a person.
What did you learn about yourself during this process?
Yeah, so, you know, I told some of my buddies today, I said, you know, if going to the Combine, if you don't love football, it would have been tough, you know what I mean? You know, just that whole process is very unique in its own way. But, you know, during this process, I continue to learn that I can do hard things. You know, playing football like Wake Forest, you know, coming to this university, a lot of people look at us as, you know, the underdogs in a lot of situations. People don't respect us. And so my journey's kind of been that way. You know, I had an interview at the Combine, I had 2 people there, you know what I mean? That went viral. And so really just understanding that I can do hard things and that it's about me and you know, my future from here on out.
When they ask you why you have the chip on your shoulder or why you play that way, what do you tell them?
I would just say where I come from, how I grew up. A single mom works 3 jobs to this day. You know, I got 4 brothers. She has 5 boys, including me. You know what I mean? And so just her work ethic, you know, eventually being able to, you know, put my mom in the best situation possible, you know, to get her out of the struggling situation they're in the country. And basically just using them as my driving force, you know, to be better, you know, to continue to achieve any goal that I set for myself.
Just how'd it go, man?
It was a good day. It was a real good day. Obviously, just to be out here with the guys one last time, be around our people, the coaches and stuff, and back to the place where you know, a lot of dreams came true. So you know, it's on to the next step, and a really good day.
What's it mean for you just to be able to come out here and perform for the Scouts?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to represent yourself, but more importantly, represent Wake, you know, in front of a bunch of teams, a bunch of NFL scouts, and you know, it's just exciting on to the next chapter. But it really credits all the stuff that Wake's done for me here.
What were you trying to show them today? Did you have something that you really wanted to put out there?
I mean, I'm a football player, you know, so I think the tape matches up to the athleticism. I say even more so on the tape, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, football is a game of football, and I'm a football player, so you know, it should be good down the road.
What are you hearing from the Scouts and some of the teams?
Just, you know, all I need is an opportunity. So, and I know that, you know, it doesn't really matter how I get in, it's just an opportunity.
Hearing that feedback, what's the next process for you now?
You know, take maybe a couple days of rest from this day, and then it's back to work. You know, I mean, there's still a lot ahead of us, a lot ahead of me, and so just, you know, getting back and sticking to the formula, consistent hard work equals success. So that's what I'm going to do, and whatever opportunity presents itself, I'll be ready for it.
And it's just private training?
Yeah.
Nick, what have you been doing after the season? Kind of what your workouts look like, and what have you been working on?
Well, you know, this is obviously the most different off season than the years past. You know, we played on January 2nd. January 3rd, I drove up to Columbus where I did my training, and started there on January 4th. So, you know, it was great. A great different type of training, not necessarily football specific, more so, you know, speed and etc. But I'm excited to get back to you know, training for football, the game I love the most.
Talked about the tape. You know, football guys, you have your tape for 4 years here. Do you think that shows the Scouts everything they need to know about you as a player?
Sure. I mean, you know, a lot of people are fast, you know, but are you fast on the football field? You know, so, you know, did good, did you know, my best out here, and I'll do my best with any opportunity on the field.
You still have a chip on your shoulder?
I think you always have to have a chip on your shoulder. Not to prove anyone else wrong, just to prove yourself right.
Bobby, how'd it go today, man?
Oh, it felt good. Felt like everything went good, man. You know, just a great time to get back out here with the guys one more time. You know, we had such a special year here, and you know, just to be able to capitalize this off with them guys, you know, the guys I came in with. I mean, you know, it means a lot. You know, it's good to see all my brothers go out there and perform and do their best. And, you know, this is what we train for our whole life. And so, you know, it's so cool to see so many guys' dreams coming true, and just it's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to participate in Pro Day. I mean, not a lot of people get this opportunity. So for us, I mean, we look at it as a blessing, and we're not taking any of this for granted. So I feel like today was a great day, and you know, great energy, just great overall vibes.
What do you think you needed to show the Scouts today?
Yeah, just wanted to run a little bit, you know, coming off my injury, and then just throwing it around a little bit, you know. Feel like I did a good job of that this year, but, you know, I want to continue to show that, and you know, just let these people know that I'm versatile. Whatever they need me to do, I can do. You know, the Lord blessed me to be athletic, so, you know, I try to use those abilities the best I can, and, you know, I don't take it for granted. You know, it's a blessing to be a so-called athletic person, and so, you know, I try and take full advantage of it. So
that versatility, that athleticism, he talks of you possibly moving positions in the NFL, or trying to be important.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a little 2 for 1. So, you know, kind of just seeing what teams are thinking. Teams are kind of both. And, you know, I don't have a problem with doing that. You know I can play quarterback, and I know I can play another position too. So, you know, wherever a team needs me at is where I'm going to be at. So, you know, I don't find any wrong suit. If I do switch positions, if I keep playing quarterback, you know, it's just a blessing to be in the NFL. So, I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. So.
What did the scouts have they told you or talked to you about possibly doing that?
Yeah, they've asked me just a little bit about it, and you know, a lot of them talked about quarterback too. So you know, it's kind of a little bit of just kind of going in there and doing both. And you know, not a lot of people can really say they're able to do that. So you know, for me, I feel like that kind of helps me out a little bit, just being able to go out there and just be a versatile guy who can play more than one position. And you know, obviously it's gonna be something I have to learn a little bit because I played quarterback my whole life. But I mean, it's just like riding a bike. So.
How'd it go, Karan?
I feel like I did pretty good. Hit all my marks, hit all the numbers I wanted to hit. And, I had a lot of good news from the scouts and stuff, so it's just a satisfying feeling, just knowing that I put in the work and I was well prepared.
What were some of those numbers that you were trying to hit?
Bench press, you know, they told me they want me to hit 12, I hit 11. There was a lot of questions about my speed, but people don't know I used to run track, so, you know, I ran 4.4, proved all the doubters wrong, all the questions, I proved everybody. And then just the drills and me high pointing the ball and everything like that. That's what mainly what the scouts wanted to see.
That's why these days are so important, right?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean for you that you should be able to come out here and show the scouts these days?
It's really just, you know, just proving who I say I am and just proving it to myself that, you know, that I am that player and I'm very athletic. And, you know I can, you know, prove it to anybody that, you know, I am a good player and I can put up those numbers.
For a guy that went to North Carolina A&T, came over here to Wake Forest, you know, what does it mean that you're right here now in this point in your career, you know, with all the backing that you've had here in the Triad?
It feels good. You know, it's been a long journey. This process has been long, but like I said, I'm just satisfied to, you know, get the job done and, you know, just meet all my goals and everything. And like I said, I'm just hearing good feedback and everything. So now I'm just waiting to the NFL draft.
What's next for you?
You know, we're just going to go back to work. Gonna take a little day or two off, then we right back to it.
Where are you working out at?
I'm gonna be at home, Portland, Virginia.
Okay.
Yes, sir.